Welcome, and thanks for joining me for Pathfinder Kingmaker. I am still dealing with a bit of a cold, but I'm going to try to get through a little bit of this without any major coughing attacks. I apologize in advance if that gets out of hand. I will try to mute myself if that happens. We're going to talk to some people here. Looks like we've got Jathal here, and there's Amiri. Some other guests. We'll see what's happening here in this banquet hall and hopefully figure out what we're going to do next. There's Lindsay. Let's talk to someone we don't know. Maker Varn. This man is obviously more comfortable on the battlefield than in the company of nobles. He's well built, but the expensive waistcoat he's wearing doesn't quite fit properly, as though it was borrowed. He has a few pale scars across his face, and his dark hair is drawn into an unkempt ponytail with a few streaks of gray running through it. He greets you with a broad smile and a firm handshake. Let me introduce myself. I'm Maker Varn, the new ruler of Dunsword, your neighbor to the east. Like you, I'm about to be a baron. Great job with the Stag Lord, by the way. Not everyone could exterminate a whole gang of bandits with such a small team. This is going to turn into a lot of reading for me, I bet, which is not a good thing. But we'll try to get through it. How did you become a baron? Truth be told, my team and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Jamandi Aldori needed someone reliable to take and hold the territory. Sounds familiar. I'm the captain of a mercenary team, if that wasn't clear. Varnling Host. Have you heard of us? No? No matter. We've done work for Jamandi before. This time the task was simple. We just waltzed into the area, cleared it of the most brazen monsters, and built a small fort to hold the place. And for that, a barony and land to own. It was a dream job. Sounds like you had it a little bit easier than we did. How do you feel being a noble? Looking at his rich clothes, Varn smirks, like a pheasant on a plate. I've killed all kinds of monsters, but this is the first time I've so strongly felt like turning away could get me eaten. He nods toward an arrogant man in the other corner of the room. See that lad? Baron Drelov. He's not like us. Who knows what generation of baron he is. Didn't even shake my hand. You and me, we're like dirt beneath his boots. That's why those like us, the newly made nobility, need to stick together. Otherwise, he'd take my land and yours in the blink of an eye. Nice meeting you. Goodbye. Once you've settled in, come pay us a visit. We will remember to do that. Maker Varn. Shall we check in with Lindsay? Okay, good. I was a little worried that we were going to have to talk to everybody a lot. About Amiri. The wine's alright, nice and strong, with the appetizers barely a mouthful. About Jathal. They call this a feast. I'd show them some real festivities if they'd let me. I guess we can check this guard. Everybody's here, even Natalia Sertova. There could be... Oh. What did he say? Oh, there could be an assassination, a provocation, anything. Oh, here's Keston. Well, Tartusio, well, Scum, and how did we, he's Maybe had too many, yeah. Tristan? These people are not just celebrating, it seems your feat has given them new hope. I guess we can check these other guests. Nice to see the beginning of a future noble family. Oh, these young heroes, such bravery, such spirit. There's Octavia and Ragongar. I'm sure getting into trouble over here. Okay, here's Hannes Drelov. Let's go talk to them. This man's gorgeous clothes hide rippling muscles beneath them. He looks past your ear, obviously bored. Baron Hannes Drelov. And you must be the Stag Lord Butcher. I'm sorry, I quite forgot your name. You took out the Stag Lord and his gang. So Sword Lord Jamandi is granting you permission to take his place, right? Well, congratulations. My lands lie to the west of yours. I suppose we're neighbors now. So he's on our west, and Maker Varn is on the east. Yes, I defeated the Stag Lord. Pray tell, what did you do to deserve your new dominion? A smirk appears on the Baron's face. I don't need to deserve or prove anything. Countless generations of my glorious ancestors have done so for me. If I had a slightly bigger army, Sword Lord Jamandi would have simply given all of the stolen lands to me. Alas, I don't have so many soldiers at my disposal, so she had to urgently make barons. Heh, of the likes of you and Varn. Okay, we're already not liking this guy as much. So you have no army and no special merits, you are just given land for being pretty. Under other circumstances, I'd have you whipped for such words. But let's not ruin Lady Aldori's celebration, If you want so badly to measure merits, we can do so another time. We will do that. You're not very polite. Ha, politeness must be deserved. Goodbye. Not even deigning to reply, Baron Drelov turns around and looks away. Alright, jerk. Anybody else over here? Check in with these two. Try the eclairs, they're delicious. To victory, to freedom, bottoms up. Esvonke Kieg. A handsome man with a weather-beaten face grasps your hand tightly in his rough, calloused palms. Unlike the rest of the guests, in their festive clothes he wears a simple robe. The only luxury you see on him is a holy symbol of Aristil made of solid gold. The other guests look at him with respect, some bordering on awe. Congratulations on your victory. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Esvonke Kieg, High Priest of Aristil in Restov. Looks like we've got some options here. He was in here fighting with Jamandi. I used to serve Aristil on the battlefield, but those days are long past. Now I call on his power to heal those who've fallen from a roof more often than anyone wounded by a sword. Of course, someone has to roam the forest and slay monsters, but I'm more useful to my congregation here, attending to more mundane affairs like hospitals, shelters, and charity fairs. What's with the simple clothes? The nobles dress in silks and satins to stand out from the poor. A priest wears a simple robe to stand out from the nobles. That makes sense. Do people here venerate Aristil? They revere many gods. In Restov, they pray to Abadar, patron of cities, and Pharasma, gatherer of souls. There are also some more rare cults, but there's no denying that the stag god has the largest congregation here. And no wonder. People here have lived off farming and hunting for centuries. Can we try this? Bringing law into the stolen lands is a difficult endeavor. I would be grateful for any help you could spare. Succeeded. This is a truly noble undertaking. I believe our community will be able to provide you with reasonable assistance. We will help you construct a shrine in your capital, free of charge. It was an honor to meet you. Goodbye. Aristil keep you. Okay. We've got Jamandi up here. Anybody else we want to check in with first? Oh, here's we're standing on her. Natalia. Yeah, let's go and talk to Natalia. Natalia Sertova is discussing something with an unfamiliar old lady in a low voice. Upon noticing you, she breaks into a sugary, sweet smile. You are not only tough, but quick. Well, congratulations on your victory. Enjoy it while you can. Is this a threat? What do you think awaits me? Nothing good, I fear. The Aldori, our dearest friends, didn't deem it necessary to inform you of their plans, I assume. You see, they're preparing to separate from Brevoy. It will not be a peaceful process. They lack the strength currently, hence using this legal loophole to create some independent allies. Once the civil war breaks out, your lands will be the first to endure a strike from Brevoy's forces. Perhaps they'll erect a memorial stone in independent Rostov to honor you. Well, I wouldn't count on even that, really. What would you propose? In your situation, the most reasonable course of action would be to align yourself with the lawful rulers of Brevoy, the noble houses. Yeah, that's what Jamandi warned us against. The Aldori won't dare to rebel, knowing they will immediately become entrapped. You could help Brevoy avoid a civil war, while simultaneously enjoying some well-deserved peace in your lands. I believe Jamandi has already attempted to impose a guard on you as an emissary. I'm guessing her low-born stepson, the green-skinned boy Castle. It's up to you, of course, but I would recommend you a different envoy. Please meet Chandra Murvey, an experienced diplomat who's more familiar with Brevoy's politics than any brawler could be. Okay, so we're gonna have a seemingly fairly large decision to make coming up here. The old woman standing next to Natalia gives you a slight bow. I would be happy to help you establish diplomatic relations with Brevoy. Okay, we'll consider it. Think on it. Do not make any hasty decisions. Where was that? I guess that was this one. Talking to the honored guest is useful, but also exhausting. Yeah, it is. Isn't it time to commence the main event of the evening? Receiving the Baron's title. I think it is. Yeah, but it looks like we're going to have to pick between Castle and Chandra for our envoy. We haven't talked to these two. Iosef Salemias, an older man with full sideburns, looks at you with interest through a golden eyeglass. Well now, if it isn't the hero of the festivities, the protege of our dear Jamandi. You pulled this all off quite cleverly. I confess I wasn't convinced your enterprise would succeed. I even bet a bottle of my best Pitaxian wine against you. But I'm happy to admit I was wrong. The Aldori have always been adept at finding new talent. I don't believe we've been introduced. So it would seem. I am Yosef Salemias, Lord Mayor of Restov. I rule this town and the adjacent lands. As your northern neighbor, I hope we can look forward to a long and fruitful friendship. So we've got him on the north, Varn on the east, and the other guy that was kind of a jerk to the west. Can't remember his name. So you rule Restov, and what about the Aldori? Brevoy's politics seem complex and incomprehensible to many. Here in this part of Rostland, the spirit of northern freedom still lives. We are loyal to the throne, of course, may the gods prolong the life of His Highness. But here, far from the dominions of the great houses, we have our own way of life. It is especially important now after certain events that I probably don't need to name. The Aldori Swordlords used to rule Rostland. They're still the largest landowners and main military force in the region. But it's not for nothing that Rostov is called a free city. We're proud to choose the Lord Mayor from among the citizens, considered not by their lineage, but by their own merits. What kind of events were you talking about? Why, an aspiring politician needs to be well informed. I'm talking, of course, about the disappearance of the ruling house Rogarvia. Can you imagine it? Old man Coral conquered our land 2 centuries ago. It would be a shameless lie to say that nobody wished his royal house could just disappear into thin air. But once that exact thing happened, turned out nobody was ready for it. Poof. All over the country, every member of the royal house disappeared, without a trace. Nobody knows what happened. It is a mystery, but a mystery pregnant with opportunity for everyone. How are things in Restov? I don't want to boast, but he's going to anyway. But things have been going well in recent years. Trade prospers, the population grows, and the citizens are happy. Although recently, especially after the disappearance of House Rogarvia, more and more troublemakers have been appearing, and people are talking about the most shocking things, but those sorts of rumors aren't worthy of your attention. Nice meeting you. Please wait a moment. Your young barony will need resources to establish itself, and from what I've been told, you're somewhat in need of financial assistance. I could organize and supply everything you need for the construction and spread out the cost on extremely favorable terms. You want to give us a loan? I could immediately procure, let's say, 500 cartloads of building supplies. I'm sure that would give you a good start. In exchange, I would ask a small favor. Until you repay the debt in full, you simply assume the obligation of contracting building services through Restov's Builders Guild. Do we have a deal? Oh boy. How are we supposed to know what to do here? I'm assuming if we don't accept the offer that we've got other ways to get supplies. Sure, why not? At this point, I don't have any reason not to take the offer. There very well could be a reason not to. But we're we're going in at this blind, so I guess we need all the help we can get. Then it's a deal. I'll get everything in order right away and schedule delivery immediately. Okay. Look forward to hearing more of your dazzling successes soon. Okay. Check with Castle. Right. Alright, let's talk to Jamandi.
So, how do you like our little gathering? I hope you've made some useful connections. Shall we move on to the official proceedings?
Okay, let's talk about this envoy.
My apprentice, Casil Aldori, will go with you, won't he?
Yeah, I think he will. I mean, from what little I know, he seems a little more our style than this lady over here.
Whatever you choose, I won't argue. But you must choose your inner circle with the utmost care.
Okay. We are ready for the ceremony.
Excellent. Stand here. Lords and ladies, today we are here to honor 3 brave people who have done the impossible. They've tamed the stolen lands. Baron Hannes Drelov.
Hannes Drelov. Who's the other guy?
Captain Maegor Varn, the conqueror of Dunsword. And finally, the tamer of the Shrike Hills, who put an end to the atrocities of the Stag Lord's bandits. Step forward. On behalf of the people of the free city of Restov, I confer upon you this noble title. Rise, your grace.
Cool. Nice little ceremony. A noble welcome. Time to return to the Stolen Lands. Not as a simple adventurer, but as a ruler.
Victory! The Stag Lord's dead, and the capital of the new barony has been built in place of his fort. That was how the long and challenging taming of the Stolen Lands began.
Wow, they're even bowing. Welcome, Your Grace. This is Keston. Keston salutes you. You can see he's a bit anxious, and it seems he had rehearsed his speech many times. Let me once again congratulate you on your victory, and your new title. Lady Jamandi transferred me here. I am at your disposal. I'm not one to bestow honors, but I want you to know I'm glad to serve you. I'm here to welcome you on behalf of your new capital's citizens. The Stag Lord's former stronghold will soon be a thriving city. Word travels fast, and the first settlers have already arrived, with new ones approaching as we speak. While you were visiting Restov, much has been done here. Your benefactors, the Aldori, invested a great deal of resources in rebuilding the city. I stand ready to answer your questions and to show you around the most important sites. Okay. I gotta decide if I can get through more reading. But I do want to talk to him about these things. Main question is, where can I get a drink or 3? It's time to toast. I'll make sure to show you the moment we enter the city. The tavern was the first business that opened, of course. Building a city is thirsty work, and I beg your forgiveness for my behavior during your reception. I drank a little too much. It is a day for celebration. That's right, we tried to talk to you and you were a little bit tipsy. Where is everybody? They are all somewhere around here, but I never kept an eye on who went where exactly. Well, I assume Tristan is with Jod, and you can always find Lindsay. Just follow the noise and turmoil. Are there any citizens I should know about? Our old acquaintance Jod is right here. Aristil's clerics normally don't like cities much, but he's eager to serve you. Also, the emissary from Brevoy is here, waiting for you in the throne room. There's also this curious matter. An elf has paid us a visit, a blind elf. Desna only knows how he managed to get here. He seems a peaceful, even pleasant fellow, though naturally a little odd, so I let him stay a while. It's up to you to decide what to do with him now. That's about it, I guess. What's the mood of people here? I must admit, I've never seen anything like that my whole life. A city, a whole barony, born right in front of our eyes. The people sensed the moment, and today we're feeling proud. As a rule, I'm not too cheerful or chatty. I'd normally feel out of place among all the rejoicing. But today is just one of those days. I'm ready to look around. Lead the way. Selecting a new site. So this is all built up where the Stag Lord's fort was. That's cool. A fine place to throw garbage at your neighbors' heads. It's a good thing you got rid of those monsters and bandits, Your Grace. Yeah, I wonder, like, if we hadn't cleared out all those zombies in this area, if that would affect what happens here. This looks like maybe a merchant here or something. It's cool, so I wonder if this is gradually going to get built up more with more stuff. So the tavern is to the right. Tavern's ale is blessed by Caden Kaline himself. I've heard our Baron is tall as a troll, has hair of pure gold, and can breathe fire. That sounds about right. Now that's all nonsense, well, except for the part about breathing fire. All Barons can breathe fire, trust me. We can shoot fire out of our hands. It's like quite the statue here. There's harem, looks like. Oh yeah, we've got some stuff growing up out here. Yeah, I was really kind of intrigued by the kingdom building aspect of this game, which I know nothing about, so I'm interested to see what all that involves. And it'll be cool if we can like see things being built and growing as the game goes on. Welcome to your barony. You're about to make the unyielding stolen lands a prosperous kingdom. There's a long and arduous road ahead of you. You and your advisors are going to deal with matters of national importance, found and build up settlements, seize and develop new regions, solve pressing problems, and take advantage of good opportunities. Prosperous governor will be handsomely rewarded with support and donations from their subjects, promising alliances with other states, wealth for their treasury, and many other things. Good luck in your ruling, Baron. So now we've reached the main chambers. This is the throne room where you'll hold court and receive visitors. Let me draw your attention to this large map, depicting your barony and its surroundings. We'll mark all the important scout reports and other news worthy of your grace's attention. This is our envoy castle. Greetings, your grace. It was a pleasure to meet you at the Restov reception. On behalf of your allies and benefactors, the Aldori Sword Lords, I'd like to offer you some advice. Barony effects. I wonder, are these the effects of having him as our envoy? And I wonder if we would have different effects with the other lady. Community +6, loyalty +6, military +3, economy +3, divine +3, arcane +3, stability +3. New event, trade agreement with Sertova, agreement with Yosef Salemias, Esvonke's offer, pillage the Temple of the Elk, rebuild the Temple of the Elk. Difficulty level of your barony. You may change the difficulty level of your barony at any time or set to automatic. I don't want to set it to automatic. But we could fail. But we're gonna try not to fail. If we do, so be it. Is this new? No, we read that. Okay. According to the ancient traditions of Brevoy and most of the river kingdoms, rulers address affairs of state and receive visitors at the beginning of the month. My advice to you is to maintain this tradition and regularly visit your capital when needed. The first thing you should do as a ruler is assign loyal people to all the important positions in your barony. Your clerics, Jod and Tristan, were the first to seek an audience. I won't distract you further, and I'll leave you to consider. Once again, my congratulations. May your rule be long and prosperous. That Jod? Yeah. Your Grace, allow me to congratulate you on receiving the title of Baron. I am confident that you will be able to bring order to these troubled lands. Though to be honest, that isn't exactly what we wanted to speak to you about. Tristan and I have been talking a great deal about what happened at the Temple of the Elk. It doesn't all make sense to us yet, but one thing is clear. There's a powerful curse at work. It corrupted the very essence of that sacred place, steeping it with putrescence. Ugh, I am disgusted with whoever could do this. It sounds disgusting, even though I can't say it. And now there is a new woe. Tristan and I believe the curse did not simply disperse of its own accord. There is a place near the capital rumored by the locals to be cursed. Tristan and I visited this dreadful place, and we felt the same, putrescence as at the Temple of the Elk. What is this place? There's a bald hilltop not far from here to the north of the capital. Its crown is entirely barren of life. The locals believe that rituals glorifying the dark gods were held there back in ancient times. There is no longer any trace of such rituals, but the air around the hilltop is heavy to the point of stifling. This place is like a rotting wound, closed but not healed. Bald hilltop. And this wound will undoubtedly open again. Tristan and I felt something approaching, something ominous. The curse will soon return to plague us once more, I swear by Aristil. I will go there as soon as I am able. I would be happy to accompany you, but I would not expect to see anything new there at present. I agree with Tristan. We have been to this hilltop. It's barren, but filled with a dense atmosphere of unease. Well, what do you suggest? The curse will grow in strength, and we predict it will reach the peak of its strength in about 1 month. Okay, so we're going to have a time limit on this quest. That's when we should visit the Bald Hilltop and resolve this issue. In a month. So I wonder if we need to make sure we are prepared to hit that place in a month. For now, we can only wait and prepare. Okay. We beg your pardon, Your Grace, for intervening with you getting the grasp of your barony. I'm sure you have even more pressing matters at hand right now. Oh, wow. Everything popping up here at once. Barony Stats. Barony has 10 basic stats, each supervised by an advisor. Population. Loyalty. Military. Economy. Divine. Relations. Stability. Magic. Culture. And espionage. Stats increase if your governance is successful, and decrease if events don't end well or other negative factors are placed in your way. Don't let your barony stats drop to 0 or lower. This will cause your subjects to riot and your state will begin to crumble. Each stat has certain milestones or ranks within them. Every 20 points in a stat will increase your rank. Rank 1 unlocks a corresponding advisor position for that stat. Further development of the stat and upgrades to its ranks will be possible only if you have an advisor in the relevant position. Every 20 points. Governing your barony will require one advisor for each stat. You may appoint your companions, as well as some of the Stolen Lands citizens, into these advisor positions. Each of the 10 positions has at least 3 characters who are qualified to hold it. Not all of these characters will be willing to serve you right away. Some of them will need to be convinced. Appointing others will require completing an assignment for them or rendering them some other service. Every advisor acts on their own ideology. They have their own opinions on everything that happens in your domain. Therefore, you may want to select characters whose governance philosophy is consistent with your own. Open the Advisor tab on the right side of the screen, click in an empty slot, and select a character to appoint them as an advisor. Okay. Every barony stat gains a bonus from a specific ability of the appointed advisor. The exact size of the bonus is indicated in the upper right corner of the advisor's card. Only advisors may address the problems, opportunities, and sudden events that occur in your domain and require immediate attention. Don't leave these positions vacant. Choose a name for your barony. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to pause for a minute and think about that. Okay. We are going to call our barony Revia. We are reviving these lands, and if you're a Witcher fan, there's a little bit of a play off somebody from that game. Okay, so we are here on our settlement map. And we can save, looks like. Good deal. Okay. Thanks for watching. I know that was a lot of dialogue and reading through stuff, but we're now, it looks like we're into a whole new portion of this game. So looking forward to seeing what we've got going here. I appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you again next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.